EIDL loans heat up, but will you eventually get that EIDL grant? Hey, good evening, everybody. This is Evening's LALATE. Hope you're good this Saturday evening. It's warm here in Los Angeles. First of all, I want to send deep wishes to all the residents of Florida and neighboring states as that massive hurricane is coming towards you. Your spirits and livelihood are in our prayers here out on the West Coast. Let's get to EIDL. This is a big moment as we have been reporting since last night that a deal in the second stimulus package is likely imminent. So what does that mean for EIDL? Does it mean anything from EIDL grants? And would you ever receive grant? I'm still getting comments about grant. Let me explain the following. First of all, that EIDL grant bill that a lot of you have asked about is not going to be merged into the second stimulus package. There's no movement by anyone, whether Republican or Democrat, to merge it into the second stimulus package. So needless to say, it's one of those things that someone wrote up and is not sort of going anywhere at the moment. Now, could it get passed by separate manner? Yes. And could you eventually get your grant? There's always the likelihood that grants could be funded or sent out or reinstituted or refunded if there's a switch in the office of the president this fall. Ultimately, Javita Carranza, the patron saint of this channel, would not be around come this fall if Biden wins. That's just sort of how it works. She's a Republican. She's a Republican nominee. So she would not be in. Moreover, the policies of SBA would inherently change under a Democratic administration. So if you want to grant money, then you may want to consider who you're voting for in the fall. That is where we are with grants. Now, EIDLs, boy, a lot of you have really been taking into consideration what I've been saying, that if you need EIDL loan money, never got it, or need more of it, now is the time to get it. And a lot of you are doing it. EIDL loans are being processed in record speed. I mean, I did one the other day at 6 hours. It's just incredible. I got one approved in 6 hours. They're very, very straightforward at the moment. They're different processing times now than they ever were. So if you have very clear numbers, there's nothing peculiar or strange, you can get an EIDL literally approved overnight. Some of you who applied in July are still stuck. Some of you applied in April still stuck, and March are still stuck. But unfortunately, those that are applying now in August are getting approved within seconds. That's just sort of the nature of the beast. If you need more money for your loan and want to increase your loan, you can do it, but the calculation is critical. You need to know that you actually qualify for more money and you have the credit score that warrants it. So the way you would ask for more money is emailing Recon and asking for more money to start the process. You simply can't, just say, I want a buttload of money, give it to me, because that's not going to happen. Basically, you're going to have to pull out your 2019 return, whether it's a business or individual return, and look at the line items 1 and 2 and see what your gross revenue was and what your cost of goods sold is on that return. It's going to be gross revenue minus cost of goods sold divided by 2. Very simple. What is the number? If the number is $55,000, you can't go to SBA and ask for a $200,000 loan. They're not going to give it to you. They're going to say, hey, you're really funny. You want a $200,000 loan? You are hysterical. You're more funny than Seinfeld. That's literally, well, figuratively, what's going to happen. Next, you have to have a credit score that warrants them giving you a loan. So if you come to them with a 520 credit score, Experian Vantage 3.0, they'll say, yes. I don't think so. So that's basically what's going to happen. Next, I just don't know what to do with this one, and I really plead your mercy. I just throw myself upon you and ask you with my deepest soul to please do the following. Stop asking about FICO. Stop asking about Advantage 4.0. I mean, I really just don't know what to say. Yeah, I'm just besides myself. If you don't know, the Loch Ness monster does not exist. The Tooth Fairy is not real. The Easter Bunny doesn't really come around every Easter. That there actually is no Easter Bunny, and Santa Claus, well, he might be real, but SBA does not use FICO. And those of you who are getting Experian on the phone, and some person at Experian who apparently is cousins to Blaine 66 is telling you, we don't do Experian Vantage 3.0 anymore. They do it. I have had viewers in the last day or two get their Experian Vantage 3.0 score. And yet you ask me and the mentors, or no, I correct myself. You don't ask, you instruct. You say, they don't have 4.0. They don't have 3.0. You're wrong. They have 4.0. They got rid of 3.0. They're not using it anymore. Okay, you know what? I just don't know what the reaction should be to someone that's saying that, because it's happening relatively common that people are coming into the private, which has been incredibly successful, and they're coming in the private and they're basically instructing everyone else how they think that loans should be done at SBA. The response perhaps is going to be dead silence from the mentors and everyone else, because if you want to hit the ground and kick your feet and say FICO, TransUnion, Vantage 4.0, you can do it. No one is going to respond to you, and SBA is not going to loan to you. So, I mean, I plead mercy upon you, and I throw my body upon you to please stop with 4.0. It doesn't exist for purposes of SBA. They're not going to use it. Next, the how Experian works. I mean, I think 90% of the air in the private is people voicing concerns about Experian. It's not that difficult. It's really not that difficult. You call up Experian, you can get things off of there within, a day or two. You don't want to do that, then don't ask for a loan. I mean, you don't want to do something like that, then don't ask for a loan. A loan is a difficult instrument. It's not something so simple that someone just writes you a nice check and you go out in the sunset and buy a pair of shoes with it. It's just not like that. So if you can't get Experian on the phone and say, hey, I want to remove some adverse entries, hey, I want to get that boost thing that I heard is free and it raises me 20 points. If you don't want to go through all that, then what are we doing here? What are we doing here? Experian even is advertising on the TV now, the boost. It's free. It's free. You don't have to do things. There's people in the private who are like, I had to buy a Rolls Royce to get the free boost, and I had to flip some pancakes and put some tartar sauce on top. I'm like, come on. It's just like, I have people in the private who have literally been on the phone with SBA for 4 months, who have brought out 20 years of tax returns and done 16 different levels of recon and have gotten their loans approved. And there's some people that are just coming in and say, I can't get Experian on the phone. I can't get the phone number to work. Kevin O'Leary has a message for you. You're the zombie business, according to Kevin O'Leary. You're the business that really should not exist after the pandemic if you can't pick up the phone and figure out how to make a phone call. Because ultimately, why are you in business? I hate to be sarcastic like that, but it's basically where a lot of you apparently can't get from point A to point B. Now, on the other hand, on the flip side, there are some absolute shining stars in the private. There are a series of people in the last few days, and you who know who you are, congratulations. These are people who came in the private, didn't reach out to me, didn't reach out to the mentors, read everything and watched everything on this channel, and have watched the videos of this channel, have read the comments, went into the private, got the context, and did everything themselves and got their loans approved. If you don't know and you're new to the channel, I certainly understand that you might be, because the channel is bigger than it is now than it was back in April. When I was doing EIDL at the very beginning, I was sitting there with a script, and I was reading, not a script, a printout of your questions from the night before. We were at 200 comments, then 800 comments, then 1,000 comments. I was reading through the comments and answering your questions. What viewers were doing was taking my advice, listening to my answer to other people's questions, and solving the problems themselves and getting their loans approved. And so every day or two, I would read in the comments, "I got my loan approved, thank you, LALATE. I get my loan approved, thank you, LALATE." There was no private. I wasn't personally white gloving anything for anyone. I was just telling you how to get things fixed. And I got anywhere from $5 to $20 million in loans approved because of just video recordings. I wasn't, DMing anyone. I wasn't, sending responding to emails. I was literally just recording and telling you, do this. I've spoken to a lot of you since your success stories, and you're like, boy, thank you so much. I watched your videos. I would go home at night. I would sit and pull out my whiskey and drink and get a double glass and a big pile of ice and just sit back and listen to your EIDLs and understand this is what I had to do. And you got it and you did it. Well, there's some new breeds that are coming into the mix now who literally want me or the mentors to pick up Experian on the telephone for them. Or, I was going to say have the audacity, but I don't want to be that nasty. Ask me what the phone number is for Experian. I'm like, I wish you were around, back in April, May, because the rest of you would have chewed you up. I mean, it would be like, listen, we are going through hoops and hurdles to get our loans approved, and we're doing incredible twists and turns. And you want the kid to look up a 800 number for you? It's hysterical. Bottom line is that those people who have come to the private in the last couple of days, a lot of them have gotten loans done themselves by watching the videos and then looking at the context in the private. Ultimately, I want you to understand this. There is a lot of EIDL videos on this channel. There's a lot of titles in those EIDL videos. You go to the video page of this channel and you can see there's a row of videos. I think there's 5 videos on a row, and you go down. Every row is a different day because we do 7 videos now, but back then we may have done about 5 videos a day. And you go down, you'll see EIDL. You'll look at the titles, and there's a video that solves almost every situation you have to have done. So if viewers have watched those videos and learned how to do it, some of you who are new literally are saying, hi, I have a problem. I want to get someone on the phone to fix my problem. I'm tired of dealing with this. And you haven't, understood whether getting that person on the phone really fixes the problem and what you would actually say to the person. Ultimately, what I want you to learn from this video is the following. The private is not for you to just pick up the phone and tell someone, I have a problem, fix my problem, because that person is going to throw you to the curb. They really will. You can't just assume that picking up the phone, calling someone fixes the problem, because it doesn't. There's a reason why this channel has had, 7 times 90, what is that, 630 videos in 95 days. 7 times 95. Well, that's 700 videos. That's almost 700 videos in 95 days, 125,000 subscribers by tonight. Thank you so much. 1 million views every 48 hours. It's because we're giving you information, and you need to use the information to get your loan approved. And ultimately, I'm here to support you and motivate you and keep you positive. But at the same regard, I'm supposed to give you tough love. And that tough love is, don't tell people just do work for you, because getting loans is your work. It's your business. And ultimately, you have to ensure that you can pay for the loan. You have to ensure that your collateral is not at risk if you can't pay for the loan. And there's a lot at issue. Ultimately, you can do it. You can get through it. You can get the loan approved. You can get that loan raised. You can get that loan out of recon in 1. You can get your Experian credit score up. You can do it. I have faith in you. Everyone else on this channel has faith in you. The private is there to help you. I'm there to help you. The mentors are there to help you. We know you can get this through and get this done. But don't be a lazy ass. I love you, but don't be a lazy ass. Coming up tomorrow morning at 8:30 Pacific Standard Time, if you haven't smacked the telephone for me saying that to you just now. The cell phone. Tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. is Mornings LALATE, where we cover everything about the stimulus that's really developing at a fast pace. Join me, and then midday at 3:30 Pacific Standard Time is our 2-hour programming block. Starts with a check, then goes to hazard pay, FPUC, and ends with rent. And of course, evenings with LA that starts about 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, 7:30, starts with a check and ends with EIDL. As always, stay informed, stay motivated, stay happy, and stay positive. Enjoy your Saturday evening, and stay with LA for more.